viewers, today we are going to analyze an interesting novel written by Mahesh Dattani. We will try to know how he captured the different phases of India before independence and after independence. Let's try to understand what exactly communalism is before we go into other details of this great literary piece. The British, known for their crafty skill of exploitation, divided Indians by religion and by caste in 1940s very successfully. Despite this humiliation and the damage India had experienced is yet to learn her lessons, and her lessons from Gandhi or non-violence and neighborhood. Even Amitav Ghosh, in his prize-winning novel The Shadow Lines, could focus on partition of India and communal riots of 1963 and 64 in Dhaka, but could not provide any solution. In Train to Pakistan, written by Kushwant Singh, concludes with a ghastly and gory scene of death, where two minds of two different religious sects, though got united in love, but in reality could not display the same emotion. Dattani's play concludes with a struggle to reach an amicable solution which still remains unattainable and vague. This shows how complex the situation was and how complex the theme of final solutions is. In the present play, Final Solutions and other plays, Mahesh Dattani weaves the play with the same old issues of communal harmony in the changing time frames of 21st century. That means we cannot just brush these experiences aside, saying that they were the problems of the past. He tries his best to provide solutions for the problem by bringing the followers of the two different groups onto a single platform. He exploits theatre as a potential medium, as a platform for creating awareness on this important issue. In order for a play to successfully tackle the issue of a religious conflict, what specific themes to be explored in the play? What is the relationship between theatrical events orchestrated by political parties and the medium of dramatic theatre in South Asia? Does a play examining religious communalism have to reach a certain type of audience in South Asia in order to have a social impact? Does the language in which a play is written influence the effectiveness of the play to address religious communalism in this region? Would film be a better medium for spreading ideas of religious pluralism in South Asia? Well, so many questions raise their heads in the minds of readers. Mahesh Dattani's Final Solutions provides a suitable platform which aids the explorer to find questions regarding the perspectives of the theatre to provide a platform for spreading pluralism. The play has been performed since 1993 in many different parts of India and the USA, as well as in different South Asian languages. It has also become food for thought and has led to extensive conversations among intellectuals, activists, theatre critics and audiences. The genesis of the theatre is ancient. The English words for theatre and drama have their ancestry in ancient Greek, from the time of organized theatre's first great emergence. Today, we use the word theatre in different contexts. It is a place for dramatic performance, a troupe of players with a vision that instills life in them, and an occupation. Theatre is a live event that puts performers and audiences in an immediate and mutually affecting relationship. If theatre can make a difference in promoting ideas of religious pluralism in South Asia, the type of theatre in this context is a dramatic theatre. A wonderful definition with immense clarity. Final Solutions, an interesting play by Dattani, is an example of dramatic theatre. Theatre has played a great role in handling social and political issues tactfully across the world. It has been exploited to the maximum as a literary device and a genre to create awareness among the audiences to react and imbibe different aspects of life. This exercise sowed the seed in the early 20th century. Some prominent examples include German theatre practitioner Bertolt Brecht's Mother Courage and Her Children, which was written in 1939, written in response to the rise of the Nazis in Germany, and Arthur Miller's The Crucible, which was written in the year 1952, an analogy for McCarthyism in America. However, certain productions of Final Solutions, such as the ones directed by Alik Padamsee and Arvind Gaur, utilized different types of ritual performances such as the recitation of the Azan, the Islamic call to the prayer, and the singing of Hindu bhajans, that is, devotional songs. The climax of the play adds the glamour in the form of the ritual of worship. This aspect becomes very crucial for the success of the play. The disturbance of the theatrical event, the Rath Yatra that gives rise to the chaotic and sensitive situation, giving birth to communal riots, brings together the 6 main characters. Therefore, in order to understand the form, content and background of the play Final Solutions, it is important to see the peculiarities between the dramatic theatre, ritual and theatrical events. The play is analyzed beyond politics. This critical approach enables us to identify and classify the problem as historical, psychological, cultural and economical, collective and personal, cognitive and affective. In the note on the play, the director, Alik Padamsee, is candid in his observations. The demons of communal hatred are not out on the street, they are lurking inside ourselves. The mob in the play is symbolic of our own hatred and paranoia. Can we shake off our prejudices, or are they in our psyche like our genes? Will we ever be free or ever locked in combat? Arabs against Jews, whites against blacks, Hindus against Muslims. Communalism or religious discord between Hindus and Muslims, that is Islamics, looms large even today to occasionally tear the secular and non-theocratic fabric of India as a nation. Politics and religion are not new subjects at all. Generations have tasted the flavor through channels and have digested it. But recently, this fear has been powerfully dramatized by Padamsee, basing on Dattani's famous and popular play Final Solutions, at a suitable time, keeping in view of the pan-Indian audience. In this play, Final Solutions, Dattani has done a profound and compassionate study of the sensitive and subtle feelings and sentiments of 3 generations of Muslims and Hindus. Going back in time to the partition of the Indian subcontinent by the British in the year 1947. The title of Dattani's play ironically reverberates to the pitch of Hitler's final solution, which planned to annihilate all the Jews in Europe and the world. Thus, Dattani's play Final Solutions evokes the gloomy and sinister shades of religious prejudice and fanaticism, communal violence and mutual hatred that rips apart the harmony of a country. Unfortunately, while India has gained immense popularity for its rich history of theatre, the country unfortunately is also famed for its history of religious conflicts. The path was not never really smooth. In the context of South Asia, religious conflict is often referred to as religious communalism. While it may appear that the communalism that has surfaced in South Asia is due to ideological differences between members of different religions, in reality, religious communalism rears its ugly head out of the political exploitation of social issues. Political scientist Rashiduddin Khan defines religious communalism as an ideology of political allegiance to a religious group as a primary and decisive group in the polity and for political action. As historians said that the British colonizers injected not only the concept of communalism in South Asia, but also played a major role in intensifying the impact of communalism by dividing Indians into either as Hindus or Muslims and in separate electorates in the year 1909. Before we come up with critical perspectives on Final Solutions, it is necessary to scrutinize the political events that unfolded during the time when Dattani was writing the play and during which the play was first performed. It was the time when the Rama Janmabhoomi movement, the demolition of Babri Masjid and the subsequent violence shattered the society. People of the society were disturbed. They were not able to understand what exactly was happening, what kind of issues were troubling the Indian fabric, or the political scenario was very confusing. This series of events was termed as Ayodhya dispute by anthropologists. Ayodhya was the birthplace of Lord Rama and his glory spread to a vast area in the continent. After the invasion of Ayodhya by Babur, a mosque called Babri Masjid was built by Mir Baki in Ayodhya. In the 1940s, during the heated communal debates that occurred between Hindu and Muslim nationalists, Hindu groups began to claim that the Babri Masjid was built by first destroying a Hindu temple devoted to Lord Rama. This temple was believed to have been built by King Vikramaditya around 300 CE on the location of Ram's birthplace or Rama Janmabhoomi. Paradoxically, the fact that Lord Rama's temple had once stood on the grounds of Babri Masjid was initially promulgated by the British colonizers. After independence, the Babri Masjid was closed to both Muslims and Hindus by India's government after partition. The first major riot between Hindus and Muslims began in the year 1949, when militant Hindus placed images of Lord Rama and his brother Lakshmana and his wife Sita in the mosque. What followed was the creation of the Rama Janmabhoomi movement. In 1950, the movement instigated the Hindus to worship in the mosque. The communal riots that bring the characters of the play together start when the chariot and the images of Hindu deities of Rath Yatra are destroyed in a Muslim neighborhood. Dattani based the Rath Yatra of Final Solutions on a specific Rath Yatra procession that was disrupted by some Muslim miscreants in Ahmedabad, Gujarat in the year 1985. The theatrical event of the Rath Yatra procession plays a vital role in the dramatic theatre work Final Solutions. On 6th December 1992, 300 Karsevaks attacked and demolished Babri Masjid. Violence exploded everywhere and the city of Bombay became the site of massive religious communalism for the next 4 months with 3 separate waves of violence. The violence ended with a series of bombings on March 12th in the year 1993, which was organized by crime lord Dawood Ibrahim, claiming the lives of at least 1900 people and injuring more than 5800 others. The play Final Solutions was supposed to premiere in Bangalore during the first week of December in 1992, in which 1200 Indians lost their lives. In Karnataka, the state of which Bangalore is the capital, what is clear is that Final Solutions creates awareness and generates dialogue among diverse groups of people. Directors of the play have taken advantage of this lofty theme and enriched the play. In the year 1993, the play was performed in Mumbai when the dreadful riots caused by the mosque's destruction were still fresh in the minds of many of the play's audience members. Performances that have occurred after the Gujarat violence of 2002 brings a new layer of meaning to the play's text. The importance of studying the potential of Final Solutions to address religious communalism in the context of the Ayodhya dispute is thus evident. Though Mahesh Dattani dealt ornately and vastly with the issues of gender discrimination and homophobia, he made a great investigation on contemporary social issue of religious communalism in the year 1991. Dattani considers religion as his cultural inheritance, as his parents were very religious and visited temples as a child with them. That's how he identified, or he learnt his first definition of the word culture and the word religion. However, he does not believe that he is a religious Hindu. He has a different approach to his own personality and he projects a new dimension of his own self throughout the play. He introduces himself as a very secular individual. Apart from not being religious, he had never been categorized because of religion. Alik Padamsee, a celebrated Indian advertising personality, extended the required support and courage to Dattani to call himself a playwright and the director. He was one of the inspiring figures who inspired Dattani in his early theatrical career. Dattani consulted a number of books and conducted number of interviews with survivors of communal riots in Gujarat and Karnataka, especially the 1985 Rath Yatra in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. This interaction helped him to give an authentic touch to his play. This becomes the upstart of the plot with the visit of 2 Muslim boys into Gandhi's family in the play, that is Final Solutions. In 1969, Riots in Ahmedabad, the subject matter of the article that Padamsee used for the creativeness that inspired Final Solutions, at least 2,500 people were killed. More than 2,000 people were murdered in the Gujarat violence in 2002. Dattani, a Gujarati himself, explains his reasoning behind setting Final Solutions in Gujarat. After Dattani finished an initial copy of the script, Alik Padamsee, an advertising man, organized another improvisation with actors in Bombay, and Dattani edited the play based on the propositions that came up during the process. It was not an easy task for Dattani to come up with this play. He had to understand the society, the violent society, infested with communal riots, with closed quarters, from closed quarters. Dattani was ready to premiere Final Solutions at the Deccan Herald Theatre Festival in Bangalore in December 1992, when the Babri Masjid was destroyed. Following the demolition of the mosque, Dattani was contacted by festival organizers that the play would not happen. It was almost banned for its controversial theme, controversial effect on the audiences. People were scared. Following this situation with the festival, Alik Padamsee suggested a novel idea by changing the location from Gujarat to Bangalore. But they never gave up. They wanted to spread this strong message. They wanted the message to reach the audiences. This made all the difference. Change in location had a magical effect on audience, and the message was delivered successfully. Finally, the play premiered at the Guru Nanak Bhavan in Bangalore on July 10, 1993. The Final Solution represents how the play can be used as a successful theatrical device for social activism. Literature has a major role to play to bring in the changes in the society. It's a very powerful tool, and Dattani has successfully made use of this great device in order to spread the message, in order to create awareness among the audience. The credit goes to Alik Padamsee for sowing the seed of Final Solutions, which in turn inspired Dattani to write the play that addressed the rising religious fundamentalism he witnessed in the late 80s. After the Bombay riots in 1992 and 1993, Padamsee was given the chance to use Final Solutions as a method of helping both his production team and his audience members cope with and understand the violence that had overtaken their city. In his production, Padamsee was able to highlight the themes of Dattani's script that explored the psychology and intricacies of religious conflict, and in turn this allowed his cast and audiences to introspect their own recent experiences with the violence in Bombay. On 10th July 1993, the play was premiered at Guru Nanak Bhavan, Bangalore, and the responses from the audience side were tough on this theme of religious communalism. It was not an easy task. At the premiere of Final Solution given by Dattani, Bobby is introduced as one of the Muslim characters in the play who picks up the image of the deity Krishna, and the audience were seen shocked and gasped, thinking that he would break the idol. But the situation was something different. The day after the show's dress rehearsal, Padamsee came down to Bangalore and gave a talk about the recent communal violence that had disturbed the spirit of Bombay, and how intolerance and narrow-mindedness stems from a fear of what is different. At frequent intervals, audience had a hard time processing the theme of religious communalism. Dattani remembers that audience were out of breath and were shocked at a scene in the play in which Bobby picks up the image of deity Krishna. He recalls one audience member sitting next to him during a show saying, "He is going to break it, he is going to break it," with the expectation that Bobby was going to destroy the image of Lord Krishna. Amusingly, Dattani did not hear this criticism from any of his Muslim audience members. There were people from the Muslim community who came, who normally don't go to the theatre, who were there for the first performance, and they were just interested in meeting the actor who played Javed and couldn't believe that he was a Muslim. And they kept asking, "How did you know all this?" On the whole, the play received positive reviews from critics. Journalist Gauri Lankesh appreciated the production, saying, "Flitting back and forth over 4 decades through Daksha and depicting present day doubts and fears through the other characters and the chorus, Dattani's play is intense in its presentation." To conclude, when we look at the different events of this great play, it has beautifully captured the different shades and hues of communal riots, the dirty colors of hatred and violence. With this, we end this program, and let us look into the other elements of this play in the next program. Thank you.